Anxiety and suffering, according to Buddhism, the silent path to emotional relief. Have you ever felt consumed by an unnamed anxiety? Waking up with a tight chest, racing thoughts, and the feeling that something is wrong, even when everything apparently is fine? What if I told you there is a silent, ancient path that can offer you not only relief, but also understanding, clarity, and true emotional freedom? A path that does not require blind faith or forced positivity, just presence. This path exists, and it starts now. Timeless wisdom from the East to transform your mind and spirit. Welcome to Axiom Sage. Today I want to guide you on a deep journey, an intimate conversation between you and a living philosophy that spans centuries and remains more relevant than ever. We are about to explore Buddhism's teachings on anxiety, suffering, and most importantly, how to relieve this pain that so many people silently carry. It doesn't matter if you already meditate, if you've never read a sutra, or if you're simply looking for something that can bring you more peace amidst the chaos. This video is for you, who feels that something inside is tired of running and needs a place to rest. Stay with me until the end, because besides understanding the roots of your anxiety, you'll experience, with me, a short, simple, and powerful practice that can change the way you feel in less than 5 minutes. Breathe with me now, deeply. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly. Now we can begin. The first teaching, the Four Noble Truths. The Buddha did not promise us eternal happiness. He began by saying something much more sincere and much more liberating. There is suffering. There is a cause of suffering. There is an end to suffering. There is a path to that end. These four statements form the heart of Buddhism. Known as the Four Noble Truths, they are not dogmas. They are maps of human experience. And they have everything to do with let's understand them calmly. The first noble truth, there is suffering. Life contains dissatisfaction, dukkha, from losses and physical pain to small frustrations and emotional emptiness. Anxiety is a modern manifestation of this truth. The second noble truth, suffering has a cause. This cause is attachment, the expectation that things won't change, the desire for control. The mind that seeks absolute security ends up creating its own prison. The third noble truth, there is an end to suffering. We are not condemned to eternal pain. Suffering can cease. When we let go of attachment and observe with clarity, something within us is set free. The fourth noble truth, there is a path to the end of suffering. This path is known as the Noble Eightfold Path, a way of life that unites wisdom, ethics, and meditation. And it is through this path that Buddhism proposes freedom. These truths are not beliefs. They are like a diagnosis and treatment for the mind, and in our case, a guide to understanding and relieving anxiety. In Buddhism, there is a concept called dukkha, a word from the Pali language that represents something much greater than just suffering. Dukkha is the constant discomfort of existence, the restlessness we feel even when everything seems fine. It's the emptiness after an achievement, the anguish of losing something, the fear that lives behind attachment. Have you felt dukkha today? Perhaps when you opened your eyes and remembered what you haven't done yet? Or while scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to curated lives? Perhaps when trying to control everything, only to realize you can control almost nothing. Anxiety is a modern expression of dukkha, and Buddhism does not judge it. It doesn't see it as a failure. On the contrary, it sees it as a teacher. But to listen to it, you need to quiet down. To understand it, you need to stop fighting it. And that's when everything begins to change. We live in a culture that runs from pain. We are taught to keep moving, to hide it, to keep our minds busy. But Buddhism offers another alternative. Acknowledge, observe, feel. By accepting the existence of suffering, without blaming yourself, without comparing, without trying to control, something transforms. Anxiety doesn't disappear, but it loses the control it had over you, because now you are no longer fighting it. You are listening to what it has to say. Did you know that simply naming what we feel already changes how the brain processes the emotion? When we say, this is anxiety, or this is fear, we activate areas of the brain linked to regulation, not reaction. Buddhism understood this millennia ago. To see suffering is the first step to transcending suffering. And here in this moment, you begin to see. Let's be honest. Many times when we feel anxiety, what we want is to numb it. We binge watch, we overwork, we shop, we eat, we scroll endlessly until we feel nothing. But anxiety doesn't go away. It hides and it comes back stronger. In Buddhism, we learn that suffering is born from illusion, the illusion of permanence, of control, of a solid ego. Anxiety is the symptom of a mind that believes it can predict, hold, and define everything. But everything changes. Everything slips away. And when we don't accept this, we suffer. Now I want to show you something so simple that maybe you've never looked at it deeply. Your breath, it's been with you since your first day, and it will stay with you until your last. It never abandons you. It never fails. It never demands that you control it. It is a direct reflection of your state of mind. When anxious, your chest tightens, your breath shortens. When at peace, your breathing is wide, open, natural. Right now, I invite you to stop and simply feel. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your abdomen, and breathe. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth, counting to 6. One more time. Now observe. Where is your mind? Probably calmer, less scattered, less tense. The practice of mindfulness, as many know it, is one of Buddhism's jewels, and it all starts with the breath. Another powerful teaching is that of impermanence, anicca. Everything changes. Anxiety changes too. It comes, it stays, and it passes. But we try to hold it or push it away. We want to understand everything, explain everything, solve everything. But what if we just let it be? Like a cloud that appears in the sky and then moves on. Buddhism teaches us, observe, witness, do not react. The anxious mind wants immediate answers, but relief comes from silent observation. Observe your body now. Is there tension? Is there a recurring thought? Do not fight it. Just say, this too shall pass, and breathe. Perhaps this is the most important point of the First Noble Truth. Yes, suffering exists, but suffering is not your identity. You are not your anxiety. You are not your fear. You are the awareness that observes all of this, and now you begin to reconnect with it. If these words touch something in you, if this pause brought relief, consider subscribing to the Axiom Sage channel. Here we deeply explore the wisdom of the East in a practical, human, and welcoming way. Click subscribe and activate the notification bell. That way you can join our weekly journeys of transformation and serenity. Now let's dive even deeper. Feel the rhythm of this pause we began a few minutes ago. Have you already noticed the lightness that comes from simply paying attention to your breath? Now let's go even deeper. The second noble truth, suffering has a cause. The Buddha taught, suffering arises from craving, attachment, and aversion. And what does that mean? It means that the pain we feel doesn't come only from what happens to us. It comes mainly from the way we react to what happens to us. When we wish for things not to change, when we try to control the uncontrollable, when we run from discomfort or fight against it, we are feeding the suffering. Did you know that the anxious mind creates an automatic cycle? Thought, tension, more thoughts, more tension. That feeds itself. You feel, your body reacts. The mind notices the discomfort and sends more fear signals. And it all starts over. It almost feels impossible to escape. But Buddhism says you are not trapped. You can break this cycle. Anxiety is almost always an attempt to control. It's the mind saying, what if? What if this goes wrong? What if I lose that? What if I can't do it? These what ifs are projections. They are ways of trying to predict the unpredictable. And this attempt, though understandable, creates tension. Because the truth is that life is impermanent. Things change, people change, the body changes, time changes. And when we don't accept that, we suffer. Here we bring in the concept of metta, loving kindness. Mindfulness is presence. Metta is loving presence. When you combine powerful presence with self-compassion, something shifts. Imagine that. The next time you feel anxiety, you approach yourself like someone who loves you, not someone who judges you. Let's begin. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine a comforting cloud surrounding you. Mentally say, may I be well, may I be safe, may I love myself. Repeat 3 times without rushing. Feel the warmth of care spreading through your chest. This is the beginning of reconnecting with yourself. Not everyone takes this seriously. Some say that positive thinking is enough, but compassionate mindfulness is different. It's about feeling, seeing, caring. This path is only for those who accept the responsibility of treating themselves with honor. Now let's get to the heart of this part. We have 3 steps to interrupt the anxiety cycle in the next few minutes. Stop. Pause everything. Presence. Breathe and feel. Permission. Accept that things can be as they are right now. These steps, when integrated, can bring you back to yourself. Feel, with focus, the space between your thoughts. That moment between the end of one thought and the beginning of another. This space is truth. It is real, and it is there even if you don't notice it. If you've already felt this space, this breath, leave a comment, I saw it, and subscribe to keep exploring this journey. Imagine being able to revisit this place anytime you want. In the Buddhist tradition, there are precepts for emotional cultivation. Let's adapt 5 of them to apply against anxiety. Do not judge. Allow yourself to feel. Do not punish yourself. Offer yourself shelter. Do not isolate yourself. Connect, even in silence. Do not poison yourself with expectations. Let your goals rest. Do not compare yourself. Your journey is unique. We've arrived at the final part of our journey, and if you're here, something within you chose silence over haste, depth over noise. Now it's time to look toward freedom, toward real relief. The third noble truth, suffering can cease. The Buddha was direct. There is an end to suffering. This means that pain, anxiety, discomfort, they are not eternal. When you release attachment, when you stop feeding the desire for control, suffering begins to dissolve on its own. It's not magic. It's not utopia. It's nature. The mind that observes with clarity is the mind that sets itself free. This truth tells us, you are not trapped forever. Anxiety is not a sentence. It's a symptom. And the body, the mind, the spirit, all of them have natural healing intelligence. You just need to stop blocking this process. Through presence, acceptance, practice, breathing, and compassion, you begin to change your relationship with anxiety. It can exist, but it doesn't have to control you. The fourth noble truth, there is a path. The Buddha also taught, there is a path that leads to the end of suffering. This path is called the Noble Eightfold Path. It's not a ritual. It's not a formula. It's a way of living. It consists of 8 practices that integrate wisdom, ethics, and mental discipline. And each of them can be applied to your life today. Applying the Noble Path to Anxiety 1. Right view. Understand that everything is impermanent. Anxiety is not who you are. Second, right intention. Act with kindness toward yourself. Choose calm instead of guilt. 3. Right speech. Avoid harming yourself with harsh words. Cultivate compassionate inner dialogue. 4. Right action. Care for your body. Respect your own limits. Breathe before acting. 5. Right livelihood. Seek balance between making a living and your well-being. Don't sacrifice your peace for goals. 6. Right effort practice without obsession. Persist without self-punishment. Small steps every day. 7. Right mindfulness. Observe the mind with clarity. Feel the body with presence. 8. Right concentration. Embrace silence, meditate, cultivate focus and lucidity. These 8 aspects form the practical path to freedom, and you don't need to apply them all at once. Just start with one. Have you noticed how your mind speeds up even during the simplest tasks? Making coffee, replying to emails, meeting someone. And all of this carries micro-stimuli that reinforce anxiety, urgency, reactivity, the fear of not being enough. But what if each moment became a temple? Not a sacred place outside of you, but an inner space, accessible anywhere. This is the secret taught by masters like Thich Nhat Hanh. Peace is every step. Imagine starting your workday with a silent intention. Today, I will act with clarity and calm. No need to change your environment. No need for approval. Just be there. When you write an email, breathe first. When you talk to someone difficult, observe your body. When making an important decision, pause for 10 seconds. These small practices interrupt the anxiety cycle and activate your inner wisdom. Emotional anxiety disguises itself in many ways: jealousy, haste, fear of abandonment, control. But Buddhism reminds us everything changes, everything passes, nothing belongs to us. The person beside you is an experience, not a possession. So are you. So breathe before responding, speak less to listen more, offer your silence as a form of presence. Your body is your greatest thermometer. When anxiety comes, you feel it. Shoulders, stomach, tension in your wrists, shallow breathing. The secret? Before trying to understand, just feel. Observe where the tension is. Touch it with your attention. Imagine it melting like ice in the sun. The body is the doorway out of the mind. Now I want to offer you a 5-minute ritual you can practice every day. 1. Sit comfortably. 2. Close your eyes. 3. Take a deep breath. Bring this phrase to mind. Everything changes. I observe. 5. Let this thought be your anchor. 6. Inhale with the phrase, I am here. 7. Exhale with the phrase, it's all fine for now. 8. Stay with this for 5 minutes. 9. When you finish, mentally say, I return lighter. You can do this when you wake up, before a meeting, after a hard conversation, or simply when anxiety tightens. Now listen with your heart. You are not your anxiety. You are not your fear. You are not your rush. You are the awareness that observes all of this. And in this very moment, you've proven that you can calm yourself, observe, breathe, and return to yourself. This is transformation. This is real practice. This is the path. Most people will watch short videos with magical solutions. Few make it this far, and this means something. You are among those who chose to walk deeply, even when the world rushes on the surface. You are part of Axiom Sage, a space of wisdom, clarity, and real practice. If this video touched your soul, subscribe to the channel now. Not just to see more content, but to walk this path together. Here, each video is a space for reconnection. Each practice is a return to what really matters. Each word is born from the intention to care for you. Leave a comment saying, I choose the path. Let's build this community of living silence together. Close your eyes one more time. Breathe, feel, observe. You are already home. The silent path is within you. Until the next journey.